Good morning, I'm Prarambha, Dahal. Let's begin with the main stories. Senior leaders hold talks to seek consensus on the terms of reference of the parliamentary party to probe the fraud related to cooperatives. Meeting of the parliament slated for today. Serious impact of climate change being seen in the Everest Base Camp. Melting of ice and glaciers, increasing the number of glacial lakes and rivers. Hamas says its fighters have captured Israeli soldiers during fighting in Jabalia. Israeli military denies the claim. Prospects for a resumption of mediated Gaza ceasefire talks grow. And Manchester United defy odds and critics to pull off a stunning 2-1 win over Manchester City in the FA Cup final. Manager Ten Hag expected to be sacked irrespective of the result. Prime Minister and CPN Mahar Center Chairperson Pushpa Kamal Dahal has met with Nepali Congress President Sher Bahadur Dewa. Prime Minister Dahal reached Dewa's residence in Budanil Kanta to seek consensus on the Parliamentary Probe Committee to investigate the fraud of cooperatives. Prime Minister Dahal is understood to have suggested Dewa to reach an agreement. The parties have agreed to form a Parliamentary Probe Committee to investigate the fraud of cooperatives. However, the terms of reference remain to be decided. A task force formed to reach a conclusion on the terms of reference led by Minister for Law, Justice and Parliamentary Affairs, Padam Giri, failed to reach an agreement. As an agreement remained elusive despite more than 5 rounds of talks, the responsibility of reaching a consensus was assigned to senior leaders. Meeting of the House of Representatives is also slated for today at anytime soon. Based on the schedule, discussions are to be held on the government's policies and programs at today's Parliament meeting. Based on the schedule, Speaker Devraj Khimire is to read the letter received from the Office of the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. Chairperson of the Education, Health and Information Technology Committee, Amar Bahadur Thapa, is to present a report on the bill related to security press. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal is also likely to present the proposal for discussion on the government's policies and programs. Amendments suggested by the parliamentarians on the policies and programs are to be presented and discussed, after which Prime Minister Dahal is to respond to the questions raised. Impacts of climate change have surged dramatically around the world. The rising temperatures have been causing decline in snowfall and increase in melting of snow. The base camp of the highest mountain in the world, Mount Everest, Khumbu Icefall, is one of the representative cases. Effects of rising temperatures have become evident in this region. The rapid melting of Khumbu Glacier have been forming alarming pits and rivers. This region of Mount Everest Base Camp, which is 5,364 meters above the sea level, used to be covered with short alpine plants and green grass a few years ago. The yaks and horses that carry loads for tourists used to graze in the region. However, in recent time, the vegetation there has become extinct, while ditches have turned into glacial lakes. The hazard of falling rocks is reported at various places between Gorkha Sep and the base camp, while the route has become more dangerous. Ice waters have become unstable, forming large ditches. The Everest Base Camp is at the risk because of rapid snow melting caused by rising temperatures and downslope winds. Likewise, the risk of landslide and soil erosion have equally increased. The mountain that used to be snow-capped until mid of April does not witness adequate snowfall in recent times. This has also been causing unpredicted changes in the weather patterns in the mountain regions. Meanwhile, the government has yet to conduct adequate research in this regard and make concrete efforts to address the issue. Thousands have reached mountainous district of Dolpa for collecting caterpillar fungus, locally known as Yasha Gumba. They include local residents from Rukum, Jazarkot, Solyan, Jumla, among other places across the country. According to Shefok Sundu National Park Conservation Officer Biswa Babu Shrestha, the number of people heading for the collection is double compared to previous years. Based on the records till 24th of May, over 7,000 have reached the National Park Conservation Area for the same. Although accurate data is yet to be collected, Ranger of Forest Office Dolpa Gagan Matara has said that more than 10,000 have been collecting the highly prized fungus from various community forests in the district, and many more are reaching every day. The age of collectors range from children to senior citizens. Collectors usually take a reserved vehicle and then head to the Dolpa for Yashagumba. Those from within the district have to pay 2,000 rupees each for entry, while those from outside the district pay 3,000 rupees. Locals from around the park region have to pay 500 rupees each. Asia News Network has sent a letter to Prime Minister Dahal expressing concerns over the arrest of Kantipur Media Group's chairperson Kailash Siroya. The network has termed the government move state's attempt to intimidate the media. The network has also stated that a move like this would weaken Nepal's democratic image and has suggested for concrete steps to address the situation, saying that it had raised questions on the state's commitment to upholding press freedom. The letter also states that the manner in which the police treated Siroya during his arrest and the entry at the media's office and the newsroom was unacceptable. The network has expressed reservations against the Home Administration's decision of arresting an individual for a complaint that could have been solved in a simple legal process. The network has urged the Prime Minister to use his executive rights to ensure a transparent legal process in the case and exhibit the government's commitment to democracy and press freedom. The Asian News Network is an umbrella organization of 20 reputed media of 19 countries in the Southeast Asian and South Asian region. National Advertising Association of Nepal, NAN, has condemned the arrest of chairperson of Kantipur Media Group, Kailash Siroya. NAN has said that the move by Home Minister Ravi Lamichhane was out of vengeance. Issuing a press release, the association has termed Siroya's arrest an attack on democracy. Calling the move a ploy to weaken the media, NAN has demanded to immediately halt such conspiracies against the media. Kathmandu Metropolis Mayor Balendra Shah has sent a very unusual gift to Minister of Physical Infrastructure and Transport Management Raghuvir Mahaseth. Mayor Shah sent a truckload of mud and unloaded it in front of the gate of the road division office, saying the public had been compelled to tolerate a lot of dust and difficulties because of the delayed works of Kalanki Maharajganj Ring Road expansion project. Shah posted status on Facebook and X of the same and also said that the metropolis had, without any fault of its own, been criticized by the public because of the ministry. He also urged the ministry to solve the ongoing problem at the earliest. Mayor Shah also warned of sending the minister a truck full of mud every day at convenient locations until the Ring Road expansion project gains momentum. Meanwhile, the road division has responded to Mayor as well. In our Public Voice segment, we have asked in several provinces what they expect from the budget that will be introduced by the federal government. Let us now take a look at what they had to say.
विदेश पलायन भएकोलाई रोक्न सक्ने किसिमको बजेट आओस्।
कुलो नालो गाउँबाट पानी बोकेर टोकाले बोकेर घरसम्म ल्याउने त्यहाँ पनि त्यसको लागि पनि संघीय बजेटहरू छुट्याइदिने प्राविधिक शिक्षा दिएर विदेश जाने वातावरण पनि बन्द होस्।
बिरामी भएर टाढा टाढा अस्पताल जानु नपरोस्। गाउँघरमा चाहिँ उहाँहरूले चाहिँ अस्पताल बनाइदिनुहोस्।
रोजगार उत्पादन हुने खाले उत्पादनमूलक कार्यक्रमहरू बजेटमा समावेश गर्नुपर्छ।
महिला र बालबालिकाहरूको लागि चाहिँ हक हितको लागि चाहिँ संघीय सरकारले त्यही अनुसारको बजेट ल्याउन जरुरी देख्छ।
बजेटको अभावमै राष्ट्रिय गौरवका आयोजनाहरू चाहिँ कमजोर गतिमा सुस्त गतिमा अगाडि बढिरहेछन् भन्ने समाचारहरू आइरहेछ र अब आउने बजेटले चाहिँ यसलाई द्रुत गतिमा चाहिँ अगाडि बढाउँछ भन्ने मेरो अपेक्षा छ।
घरेलु उद्योगलाई पनि प्राथमिकता दिए हुन्थ्यो। स्वास्थ्य, शिक्षा, खानेपानीमा त्यसमा लगानी भयो भने धेरै राम्रो हुन्थ्यो।
It is now time for the international news. A spokesperson for Hamas's armed wing said its fighters had captured Israeli soldiers during fighting in Jabalia in northern Gaza, though the Israeli military has denied the claim. The Hamas armed wing spokesperson did not say how many soldiers had been abducted and showed no proof of the claim. The Israeli military denied the claim by Hamas's armed wing. The comments by Abu Ubaida came hours after prospects of a resumption of mediated Gaza ceasefire talks grew on Saturday. An official with the knowledge of the matter said a decision had been taken to resume the talks next week after the chief of Israel's Mossad intelligence agency met the head of the CIA and the Prime Minister of Qatar. The source, who declined to be identified by name or nationality, said it had been dedicated that in the coming week, negotiations will open based on new proposals led by the mediators, Egypt and Qatar, and with active U.S. involvement. A Hamas official later denied Israeli media reports that the talks would resume in Cairo on Tuesday, telling Reuters there's no date. After more than 7 months of war in Gaza, the mediators have struggled to secure a breakthrough, with Israel seeking the release of hostages held by Hamas and Hamas seeking an end to the war and a release of Palestinian prisoners in Israel. Nearly 36,000 Palestinians have been killed in Israel's offensive, Gaza's health ministry has said. Israel began the operation in response to Hamas-led militants attacking southern Israeli communities on October 7, killing around 1,200 people and seizing more than 250 hostages, according to Israeli tallies. Now, at least 24 people, including many children, died in a fire that broke out in a family entertainment venue in the western Indian state of Gujarat, a government official has said. Television images showed a massive fire engulfing the TRP game zone and thick clouds of smoke emanating from the site. The entire structure was gutted in the blaze. Excavators were seen removing debris from the site as the rescue operation was underway at the site as well. Gujarat Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel said an investigation into the incident had been handed a special investigation team, and television reports said 2 people had been detained by Rajkot police in connection with the fire incident. The time now for segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
The question is, which areas should be prioritized in the next fiscal year's budget for the development of sports sector? Your options are A, development of infrastructure, B, players capacity building, and C, raise sports activities. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And now, before we wrap up, here's a look into the top stories one more time. Senior leaders hold talks to seek consensus on the terms of reference of the parliamentary party to prove the fraud related to cooperatives. Meeting of the parliament slated for today. Serious impact of climate change being seen in the Everest Base Camp. Melting of ice and glaciers increasing the number of glacial lakes and rivers. Hamas says its fighters have captured Israeli soldiers during the fighting in Jabalia. Israeli military denies the claim. Prospects for a resumption of mediated Gaza ceasefire talks grow. And Manchester United defy odds and critics to pull off a stunning 2-1 win over Manchester City in the FA Cup final. Manager Ten Hag expected to be sacked irrespective of the result. That is all for the moment. Our next English bulletin is at 6 p.m. Thank you for staying with us. Have a beautiful day ahead.